Hello, everyone. Today I am here with part owner Jake. He is part owner of the New Buffalo Art Gallery here super close to the beach. It's a beautiful gallery and you all have to come in and see it. Before I continue to overly compliment how gorgeous this gallery is, I'll hand it off to Jake to introduce himself and give a little bit of background.
Yeah, so my name is Jake. I run the gallery here. I love it. I honestly fell in love with New Buffalo, and this is one of the places that helped me fall in love with this place. You should have seen this. If you go on our Instagram, actually, you'll see this was not always so bright and open. When the founder of the gallery started it, it was all like 3 different kinds of floors, so many different things. You should really check it out if you've got the time, I think. It's kind of crazy to see how far it's come. Right. So I run the gallery here. I got into it. I originally went to school for photography, which I love. In this setting, my photography is I do portraiture photography. So in this setting, it doesn't really sell very well, but I like landscape and I do abstract. So I did that one behind us too. The thing that I fell in love with here is that I love to represent other people and really help the community get accustomed and used to having art in their space. And so part of our entire mission here, part of my entire mission here is like really making art accessible for people. Okay. And so that's kind of what drew me here originally and then kept me here is this like evolving goal to bring art to as many people as possible. And not try to sell somebody like a $20,000 piece of art with, right. I mean, we have expensive pieces, but we've also got pieces for like 100 or less. You know, we sell prints by the print. Doable. Absolutely. And I think for people our age or for people who've never purchased art before, it can be really intimidating walking by a space like this and feeling like you can walk in. And so that's something we want to do too. So we started the whiting canvases here, which is really cool.
Do you want to talk a little bit about that and what that kind of layout for the class looks like? Because I attended one and I wasn't, I was expecting something different and not in a negative way or anything. Yeah, but just the layout, if you want to talk a little bit about that.
Sure. Well, first off there, BYOB.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun. We have fun. Our instructor is super cool. She's been teaching forever. Her name is Dory. She's great. And if it's not her, if somebody else is filling in, they're going to be great too. We've got a lot of people who say that they're nervous for it the first time or they've never painted, have no history. We've also have people who are painters, are artists and come in just to have something fun to do to relax, to get their mind out of their own art, which I think is huge. I love it. It's a lot of fun. The whole gallery transforms too. So we get these tables that we're on. If you can't see in the frame, they're all painted. Yeah. Splattered. I think it's so fun. And then in the weekends too, actually with these tables, I'll leave them out sometimes. And we do open painting for kids too, which is cool. So that's,
What does that look like?
If you're a kid and you like to paint, you can come in and paint at the gallery.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah. Basically you just cover supplies and then that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like, how much is it up front to like have your kid?
Yeah, so it kind of depends on like what supplies you're using. Right. Our canvases plus our paint and everything. So for us to cover costs, we've got to charge at least $10, $15.
Right.
Per person, per event. And then we go from there. So if it's one of our winding canvas classes, they are $39, I believe right now. Which helps cover our instructor fee and all that stuff too. We think it's really important to be like super transparent about stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And it is a fun experience. Like when I came in to paint, it was with my cousin, whom she literally has a piece over there in the corner.
She does, yeah. She's super talented.
So much talent. And then I'm like, okay, Jasica, like just do your best, you know. But the instructor does make it super like beginner friendly, as well as if you're sitting next to a professional artist, it's not overly intimidating. Yeah. She was like giving me little tips and I'm like, okay, you stay over there with your bougie art. but it's
important for it to be accessible for everybody. And like ultimately like we want you to leave feeling better than you walked in.
Yeah.
And art does that.
And just so you know, my mom has my painting still, and it's hanging up in her basement.
We always joke about where people put these, because like, where do you put them? Especially the people who come to every class. But I've gone to their houses like to have like wine nights or whatever, because we make friends with these people. This is part of the community, so it's something I love to do. And they'll be like in their foyer, like display. I love it. Or like they're coating the garage.
Right.
Love it.
Yeah, you never know. You never know where it's gonna end up.
No.
End up at. So that's.
And if you don't want to keep it, we donate all the pieces to inner city Chicago kids who don't have resources for art supplies.
Oh, so then they could just paint over it.
Yeah, so they paint over them with art gesso, and then it's a blank canvas. So they're not going to see your whatever you painted.
Yeah.
Your Aurora Borealis.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah,
That's
cool.
literally what I painted.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Okay. That's funny. But that's really cool. That's cool that you have kind of like a give back aspect there. Do you want to talk a little bit about what sort of art you welcome in? Because I see a lot of beach stuff. I see a lot of like abstracts behind me.
Sure. So that's a hard question. I mean, it's not, because you see what we have. It's kind of complicated to answer that. We'll take it. If it's of quality, like whatever, we're pretty open, is what I'm trying to say. We're pretty open. We're always looking for new artists. We are in a beach community, so the pieces that we sell, most of are beach work. We sell a lot of like super palatable, beautiful art that is on people's walls. So like, I mean, it's really a whole mix. We've got a huge mix, if you can't tell.
Right.
Yeah.
And I've noticed, what is it called? Like there's a lot of photography. There's a lot of
Sure, abstract. So that's the other thing too, like us being super young, local, running it, we can kind of be really hands-on. And we started this place during the pandemic, and when the market was all crazy. Right. So it's only, this last season, we're super seasonal, by the way. So the last season that ended was our second season ever. Mm-hmm. So when you ask like what art will accept, we're still figuring it out.
Okay.
What's going to sell in this market. Okay. So that's been a huge learning process for sure. What this community will accept, reject, or buy into. And we've had huge, like good response. It's just on our end, we have to be really meticulous about how we go about that. Right. And as we progress, like we'll get better and better about being like, well, no watercolor, we don't do watercolor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But nothing against watercolor. That was just the first thing that came to my head.
Boo, what? No, I'm kidding.
Watercolor is great. Yeah, we have some cool pieces.
And then you mentioned how this gallery is very seasonal.
It is.
Like, would you want to touch on a little bit about how in the winters there's like how big the population is? What's it like in the summers here?
Yeah, the summers here, it's a whirlwind.
Yeah.
So much to even, it's a lot. We really have to set up our selling season before the selling season.
Okay.
Because as soon as summer hits, as soon as Memorial Day happens, it is white knuckle on a snowy road trying to like, you're like, what's happening? You know, it really is like that. I mean, I work in off season. I think I work like less than 60 hours a month.
Oh, wow. So
on season, I work 90 hours a week minimum. Like that's just
90 hours.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That's how it is here.
Right.
I make sure that like Mondays I call them Mental Health Monday. I leave my phone at home and I go to the beach because we are at the beach. I love the beach. That's why we're here. And I kind of just decompress. It's Mental Health Monday. Super important. Take care of yourself.
Good for you. Yeah.
But the rest, I'm here and it's crazy and I love it. It's so much fun. But the season, this is a resort town. It's super seasonal. Last year we tried to make it work all year, and unfortunately we just couldn't do it this year. And I think we're probably not going to do it going forward. It doesn't really make sense for us business-wise. Right. So I think we're going to use this time to really focus on getting the gallery ready so that we can do the best that we can during season.
Right.
So
yeah. That makes sense. You know, you got to kind of roll with the punches and figure what works for your business and then what doesn't.
Yeah. Art's not cut and paste. It's not like,
right.
There's a lot of moving parts.
There is a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
And then price point wise, just talking about the pieces, what is the range? What does that look like?
Yeah, so I mean, we have prints that are $25.
Okay, so it's very doable.
Sure.
Which
and people do that. So we have I almost sold out of my prints last year. So I mean, and we order them continually. So we're always getting new content, which is exciting. Like one of my friends just sent me a picture of the print that they got here and they framed, and it looks so good. I'm like, yes, I love it when people do it themselves and can save a little bit. That's really important for us. Making art accessible is so huge. And then we also have pieces that are more expensive. So we do have pieces like $5,400, and we go up from there. So over the summer, we had a piece that was $15,000.
Oh my goodness.
Didn't sell, but I think it sold right after it left here to the next place. I think it went to like New York.
Oh my goodness.
Like Brooklyn.
Right.
So,
It also kind of depends on your audience as well, So.
We have a lot of walk-ins here.
Okay.
People from Chicago.
Right.
So like I think that piece sold, oh gosh, I can't even remember who the purchaser was, but like they would never have been here in New Buffalo. They bought it online, like, so we're moving to doing that also. So part of having an off season that's really nice for us is we can kind of recenter ourselves. Summer's so crazy, so we can recenter ourselves now. And so something we're really focused on is being able to provide art online, and building an online market for the work that we have here. And like I said, this is only our second season, so we're continually growing and building. So everything is a learning experience, right? So like we're starting Modern Coastal, which is really cool. And it's entirely online. Everything on Modern Coastal is explicit to Modern Coastal. And it's like a ghost restaurant.
Yes.
It runs out of Denny's, but it's not Denny's. It's like Quesadilla, whatever. Same idea with that. It's run off of our website, but you would never know it. And I love it. It's great. That's what we can do. That's what this town affords us to be able to do during off season.
Right.
And I love it. It's really nice.
So then just going a little bit more in detail on that specific idea.
Sure.
What was the name again?
Of the online company?
Yes.
Modern Coastal. So it's going to be Modern Coastal aesthetic, which really kind of fits a lot of these beach homes here.
Yes.
And we're thinking it's going to be marketed also pretty easily and well out in the West Coast too.
Right.
Just for like more year-round sales too, because this is hard. This is hard in the beach town. We make all our money in the summer.
Yeah. I mean, like being from Michigan City, I totally get 100%. It. Like it's like ghost town in the winter.
Totally.
In the summer, it's like crazy.
Yeah, our population goes like down to like 1,200.
I know. It's just it like look
up from like 40,000.
Yeah, their businesses around here, they like have it down to a T, especially if they've been around forever.
And we're getting to that point, hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah, and you guys are clearly learning from lessons your first year, and then you're going into your second, going into your third.
Going into the third, yeah, it's so exciting.
Yeah, that's really exciting.
Yeah.
And so the Modern Coastal aesthetic, right?
Yep.
That's going to be like a drop shipping model, right?
Yeah, so it is. It's called Modern Coastal, and then it's all beach. Style stuff that would look good in a beach home. That's what it's going to be. And so I think we're going to do mostly photography to start until we can figure out how to do sheet clay fine art prints of other work that fits. But yeah, for now it's like beach style photography, and you can go on the website and order it, and
it's directly to your house.
Comes direct to you from our super great printer.
That's so cool to me.
Yeah, it's nice because keeping this space open in the winter is very expensive.
Right.
So we shut our water off, we turn the heat down as much as the art can handle. So we don't want to damage the work, and we have to keep insurance, obviously. So as many costs as we can, we try to reduce them in off season. Right. So that's kind of a really nice way that we've been working on to kind of beat the system a little bit.
Yeah.
Of a super summer town.
Yeah. Yeah. And it is exciting. It was exciting. And it's like a whole system that you need to learn how to manipulate and maneuver in a way.
It is, which is, patience is so important.
Yeah.
I remember the first conversation I had with Victor. He's my business partner. And we were like, do you think this was, we started like probably 2 months ago. And we're like, do we think we can get this done by Thanksgiving, right? And we're like, yeah, totally. Yeah. Didn't do it. Like, we're working and we're trying to get it done. It didn't happen. We're like, oh God. But that's the reality. Like, we're learning.
Yeah.
We're learning everything.
Exactly. It's not like you're recreating. It's like something that you're starting from scratch. Yeah. You're gonna have to go through your first draft, your second draft, your third draft. Yeah. it might be the 56th draft. But
that's the thing. And really, truly, that is what this place is. It's not like the first thing we tried worked. It didn't work. It's just the perseverance of sticking with it so hard. Yeah. But it's worth it. It ends up being worth it in the end. Usually. I mean, as long as you stick with it.
Hard work is...
in this industry, too.
Yeah, because it's not a necessity necessarily. It's not, it's not food, drinks, whatever.
No, and it's super market reliant. So
it is super.
If the market's down,
reliant, yeah,
people are buying art.
Yeah. Excuse me. Do you want to talk a little bit about your basement project that the gallery?
Sure. Yeah. So the basement here is a huge space. And at first we were thinking, do we turn it into an Airbnb? Because that would be cool. And we've had a lot of different ideas. So right now we're just using it as storage. We've cleaned it out. We're going to paint the walls white. So it's nice and bright. But it is a 100-year-old basement. So it comes with all of the things that a 100-year-old basement come with. So it is a big project. And last summer, we tore everything out of it, and it was insane down there. Nails everywhere. I mean, just crazy, if you can imagine.
Right. Is it like, are the floors like...
It's all concrete right now.
Okay, it's concrete.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like...
You get the Michigan basements, like dirt floors.
Yeah. Oh, well, there's a little area where that... Yeah, that's...
Okay, we're working on it.
We're working on it. Yeah, so it's an ongoing project. So we're slowly building it out to be a communal art space, which will be really cool. And we're going to have a dark room down there.
Oh, that's so cool.
I think we're going to have pottery wheels going. I mean, really, it's going to be like a cool space to... It's hard in a town like this when it's raining and your whole family's here for 1 week only.
Right.
And you came here for the beach. What do? There's nothing here besides drinking and eating.
Right.
So we're trying to give the community and people here on vacation something to do.
That's going to do so well here.
For sure. I agree. The closest art...
Michigan City.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. The closest art store is in Michigan City. And if you're in Union Pier... or if you're anywhere else in the Michigan area, like this little section, the closest place is probably St. Joe or Michigan City for art supplies and art, like that outlet. So we're going to give people a space to do those things that they want to do here. And I think that's awesome. And that's our next big goal.
That's really cool. And then so you're thinking like pottery wheels, a dark room.
Think like the thing that's like on my mind is, do you remember like science class growing up with those like lab tables? Those like black top, like indestructible lab tables? That idea. So, I mean, really, you can bring your medium. We'll have art supplies here. That's part of like what membership would equate to. Sinks to rinse stuff off, running water, microwave, coffee maker, all the things. So
basics, so you could like, camp out and put in work.
Imagining a pegboard with utensils and tools to use for your art. I mean, it's going to be a really cool space once it's done. It's just a lot of work. I think we're going to write a grant for it and do that. It's just, there's a lot of moving parts. And so that's the next big goal, next big project that we have. Super excited for it.
That is extremely exciting.
It's going to be huge.
It's going to be huge. Yeah. I'm excited for it. I'm going to have to come visit.
If not just somewhere where I can go and make art, I mean...
Yeah, right.
Build out what you want.
You're like, let me put a dark room down there. Let me do this for my
Yeah. That's one of the reasons why I got into this too. I mean, I love art. It makes me happy. I used to have a 9-to-5.
Yeah.
And it sucked. Ooh. I hated that.
Oh my goodness. Don't even get me started about a 9-to-5. So soul crushing. For some people it works. For me.
For some people it works and it's exactly what you need. And at the time I think it is what I needed. But I just grew to resent everything about it. And so this, when you become a business owner, when I transitioned from manager to co-owner, I realized that it's not 9-to-5. I don't really clock out and I don't really clock in. It's a lot more than that.
Yes.
So,
oh my goodness.
I mean, my workload went way up. But my happiness also went way up too.
And it's worth it.
It's worth it. You're building equity in yourself, you're building equity in the community, and you're building equity in the vision that you have. So for me, it's providing art and making art super accessible. I always felt growing up that art was inaccessible. And I don't know if I mentioned, but I see people walk by all the time and not come in. I'm so confused. Like, I don't know why. And I talk to people about it. And they're like, well, art galleries are really intimidating or inaccessible or scary to go in.
And
or,
do you ask why? Like, do you further,
I mean, people just think they're really stuffy, I think. Like, okay, I was just reading in the news, this art gallerist out in Seattle was spraying a homeless woman in front of his store with like cold water. And our other art gallerists like selling fake work, like fake Warhols to people. Like, that's the industry, right? So I can understand that. Like, it is hard to find a space like this. That's why it's so important for us to build this out. We want it to be super open to all kinds of people, all kinds of art. I love it when people come in and they've never been in a gallery, and you can just see in their eyes sometimes, like, it's just, it really like open, like not awaken because it's so dramatic, but like opens a new thing for them that they didn't know really existed. Yeah, exactly. Or like, people who do go to art galleries all the time and they're huge travelers, they go to Paris and all these places, and they come in and they're like, this is cool. This is really cool what you're doing. This is it feels like this is part of the community. And this piece in Paris would cost $6,000 and here it's $500.
Right.
Like, that's so important for us. It's just, I love it. I love what we're doing here. It's great.
That's awesome. And I do think the beauty about being a part of a small town is that you can build that sense of community. And
100%.
Yeah. And it's like, it's cool because yes, maybe there's not as much to do and stuff, but the people that work across the street, the people that are next to you, people will pop in, you'll make friends, and relationships are established to where it is homey,
We work together too. Like, us businesses all work together. That's so important. We do business week, all kinds of things. Like I was out in California visiting my mom, and a huge blizzard came through, and the other owner was like in Chicago with family or something. And so we called the ladies next door at Custom Imports, a great place, by the way. And we were like, hey, Dee Dee, she's the owner. She's fabulous. We were like, hey, Dee Dee, would you mind going to our train wreck of basement? It's scary down there. The lights kind of they flicker around, but just be careful. She's like, I don't even know how old she is, but we were like nervous. I was nervous, like sending anybody down there. I'm nervous going down there sometimes. This is why it's going to be a big project, tearing it all out. And she's like, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And so we did a 3-way call and we coached. That's this place.
Right.
That's how tight and how nice it is.
Yes. Like, you're like family. Like, you look out for each other.
Truly.
Like if someone was trying to bust in your door, I'm sure Dee Dee from next door would be like, hey, hold on.
Yeah. We run a no, she would actually. Well, it's fun. Not even her. Like, I work at a shop in town off season to help supplement so that we can make this work.
And I love that because a lot of people like you, I don't know, I like you're a part-time art gallery owner, and then a lot of people make assumptions.
Sure.
It's like when you have a dream, you make that work.
Oh my God.
You make that shit work.
Oh, absolutely.
I love that. I'm the same way.
Girl, you're a hustler. You got to be a hustler.
I was bartending part-time. The restaurant that I was closing, the restaurant that I was working at closed. So now
R.I.P. That place was tasty.
I know.
You could make a mean margarita.
Yeah, I learned some things, but it just, if you have a dream, don't think it's glitz and glamour from the beginning. Like, you have to work at it.
No way.
You have to work at it.
Yeah, absolutely. It is not glitz and glamour.
Yeah. So
like, I have pictures of me like in the basement, like for example, like we tore out everything over the season, last season, a lot out of the basement. And we had an artist dropping off work while we were doing that. Like, so it's, like I said, it's white knuckle, so much going on. Because one of her pieces sold, so we needed to replace it. So she was coming in. She saw us in the basement. We had like our COVID masks. Those are the masks we were wearing. And our faces, like, we move them and like it's like art scan, and the rest is like dirt and dust. And I'm sure, like, whatever, it's a 100-year-old building. And so she went to True Ace Hardware, whatever, in town, got us like these N95, like huge, like the respirator stuff. I love it.
Nice.
Yeah, so nice.
I'm sorry, I totally interrupted what you were saying about your other job.
Oh, no. So, yeah, Also, I love doing that too in a small town where you work at more than one place, because then you meet so many more people.
You do.
Moving here from Chicago, like not really knowing anybody, it's been really key to tapping into what's going on by diversifying what I'm doing with my day-to-day. So if I, like, before I worked there and I was just here, I didn't know anybody, and I was kind of just like, what am I doing, you know? I love it. I would do that, but it was nice to tap into the community. So my whole point was, the owner over there texted me that the gallery lights were on. There was somebody in the gallery painting, but it was just our artist resident over the summer, because we just started that program last year too.
Okay.
So yeah, kind of wanted to segue into that too. So we are open to having artist residency too.
One, get involved.
Yeah, so we've got information on our website, and you can always email me. It's jacob@newbuffaloartgallery.com, and just give me like some of your information. We are pretty open this summer still, so I think we've got 6 slots left. We want to do 3 weeks where you are in the gallery painting for 3 weeks, and if you want, you can lend a class or lead a class too, like in what you do.
Oh, that's so cool.
We want to build that program out too. So yeah, like this is our 3rd year.
Right.
So last year, like our artist resident Danny Sober, amazing dude, taught and helped fill out in the gallery when like I had other places to be, to like my other job or
Right.
Chicago, whatever. So if you're open to making a few bucks and helping out, we would love that. We're always looking.
Paid?
Well, it's paid in the way that you help with the gallery, and you don't pay us to use our space. And Danny made a ton of money from walk-ins. He would paint like sailboats and stuff. People love that stuff
I
here.
remember seeing something.
Yeah.
Or I came in here once and he was painting, and I forget who I was here with, but we were like creeping over his shoulder.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
Even to just see an artist like painting live, that's really cool.
It's super cool, and I think it makes it more approachable to those people who are scared to come in,
right.
because they see somebody working, and they know it's a working studio. It feels alive.
Yeah.
It's not like a dead place with art.
Right.
You know, there's character here, there's people here. It's art of the people by the people.
I love that.
Yeah.
By the people, for the people.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So if someone were to say want to get their art in this gallery,
Yeah.
what does that look like?
Yeah, so that same email, jacob@newbuffaloartgallery.com. Email me your work, picture of your work, how much you would sell it for, where you've sold it, that kind of stuff. A little bit about you, if you've got any links. We do have a list of artists like going into season. Like that's what we're focused on right now, attaining new artists. So if you want to do that, please do reach out.
Oh, that's so you're actively looking.
Yep.
You guys got to come in and check out this art in person. On camera, it's cool. I'm going to be posting clips of it, pictures of some of the art pieces in here just for all of you to check out. But in person, it does it way more justice. Like my pictures don't do it as much justice.
And we're always getting new like in the season. I mean, I sell like 3-4, sometimes more pieces a day. And like that has to be replaced. Right. So like I said, we are actively looking, and it's always revolving. So you could come into the gallery and then 3 days later come in and it looks entirely different.
Right.
So that's also, and we do private events here too. So sometimes we do close the gallery off, and there's like a wedding or a bridal shower here, or a bridal party, or
that's so cool.
Bachelorette. That's a lot of fun. We've had
and they
those.
do like wine and canvas.
Well, they can do that, or it's just open. They can have it whatever they want.
Oh, so it's like a cute setting, and then they host whatever they're
for cute pics with good art in the background. Love it. Yeah.
Gucci, I love it. That's awesome. So as our time comes close to an end, as with every podcast, we're doing a giveaway with this one, and they will be giving away a free set
of tickets to our wine and canvas.
So two people, it'll be you, whoever the winner is, plus one other person. Bring your friend, mom, significant other, no pets probably. But.
Yeah, and we do run kids classes too. So if you want to use them for your kid and a friend too,
that's
do
fun.
that too. So yeah, we'll be in touch and we'll figure it out. We aren't running classes right now. Once they pick up, that's when you can absolutely use that.
Awesome. And you guys will officially be open when?
March-ish.
March.
Yeah, so we'll be in here March.
Okay.
I think I would say we'll be soft open March.
Okay.
We'll have the door open. We'll be in here working, getting the gallery totally ready, ironed out.
Awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome news.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your time. It's been lovely chatting with you and checking out this art. And remember to come check out New Buffalo Art Gallery. Jake, any last words?
Yeah, I mean, art is great. It makes you happy. It's supposed to make you happy or not. Sometimes you don't need art that makes you think about something. But this space is a positive space, and we love to have people come in and experience that. That's what we're all about.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome.